Hi. Let me get over there. All right, that was a bit dramatic, but here's what I don't want. I don't want you to have drama if you decide that you want to run some bigger wheels at the track. Today I'm going to show you what you need in order to run wider wheels up front and the tools that you'll want to clearance the strut to fit the wider wheel, the longer studs that you'll want to replace the OEM studs with, and the right tools to use in order to do that without damaging the wheel bearing. So come along and I'll show you everything that we need to do. I'm doing this because I am going to run a wider front wheel for track purposes, which does require a small spacer. But in order to do that and have enough thread to grab onto the wheel hub, you do need longer wheel studs. Now, unfortunately, most people just take a hammer and whack and beat the snot out of these studs until they pop out. But that's actually really, really awful for your wheel bearings. So I'm gonna show you what to do to not damage your wheel bearing and pull these out the easy way. Now, in order to get these out without hammering on them, you do need a ball joint separator. The way that this is going to work is that this grabs the back of the hub and gives the stud a spot to pop out. And then this side pushes, puts pressure on the front of the stud to push it back using this mechanical bolt and a 21 mil socket. Now, naturally, the Camaro has longer wheel studs, so the tool won't just grab on. So what you have to do is cut off the tip with a cutoff wheel. Hold up, did I just say cutting wheel? Yeah, I said cutting wheel. You're probably thinking, does this guy really expect me to go get an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel? And the short answer is, yeah, I do. This angle grinder was a whopping $10 from Harbor Freight, and that cutoff wheel was $2. So consider it a consumable cost. Plus, you'd be surprised at how much stuff you randomly go around and just angle grinding and cutting around your house. Anyway, back to the video. Now, you're probably saying, Luan, wouldn't it just be easier to smash these things with a hammer? And the answer is yes, 100%. Absolutely. But then you're doing potential damage to the wheel bearing. So we're gonna go this route and see what that looks like. Once you have the stud cut down, you can grab the ball joint removal tool. Slide it in behind and then start tightening it by hand to get it clamped down. And then switch over to a socket or ratcheting wrench like I have here. And you'll see it start to slowly push the wheel stud out. There you have it. To get the new stud on, you do want to get a stud installation tool. Now, the way that this works is instead of having to put a wheel on here and using a socket to just bring this up against the hub, you take your new wheel stud, insert it from the back. You want to be towards the back of the car, it'll make it a whole lot easier. And then this side has a bearing on it. So this goes right up against the wheel hub. And I'm gonna use this 19 mil floating lug nut. This is actually made of titanium because why not? Get my 19 mil wheel socket lug on there, and my impact gun, that connected. Now we will bring this in. You can see it's starting to pull it in around the back side. I'm able to move this around now. And once it's in there, it's splined, you just stop. Now we can back the titanium lug off of there. Remove the installation tool. And we have the installed longer wheel stud. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these and not waste your time. And there you go. You have your new longer wheel studs installed. You didn't have to hammer away and potentially damage the wheel bearing. And you are ready to run some wider width wheels up front on your Camaro. All right, so you've got your wider wheels and you're having some rubbing issues, even with a spacer. Well, on the 6th gen Camaro with the MagRide, you have to clearance this part of the strut housing. You can see where it kind of juts out here. All we need to do is take an angle grinder and sand that down to be a smooth ridge, and then we're going to paint it with some black paint so that it's not susceptible to rust. Safety first. And you can see that what was once jutting out is now smoothed down. That's all you have to do. There's not much more to it. That gives you enough clearance to run wider wheels. Now, assuming that you have the appropriate wheel back spacing, things like that. What we want to do now is make sure that we touch this raw metal here with some paint so that it doesn't rust, and then we'll be set. I have some standard GM gloss black here. You can paint this whatever your heart desires. I just happen to have this already laying around. I am going to touch that up so that there is no risk of rust from that part of strut housing. You're all set. Ready to run your wider wheel. And there you have it. You're all done swapping over your wheel studs to longer length studs so that you can run a wider wheel, and clearancing the strut so that you don't have to worry about the wheel rubbing. I will have links in the description to everything that we used today. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will get to them. Till next time, till the next video, till the next project. See you then.